The dodgeball finals begin. The 4th graders led by Bart face off against the strong 5th graders. Bart easily catches the ball, then knocks him down with one shot. He marks his victory on Skinner's clothes and even makes it into the Dodgeball Hall of Fame. After attending the opening ceremony, he flies out of Earth and destroys alien spaceships with a burning dodgeball. His imagination is beautiful, but in reality, his opponent not only catches his ball, but instantly eliminates his teammates. They compete fiercely. At this moment, Bart hits him with the ball in his opponent's hand. The 4th graders excitedly celebrate their victory, but they don't notice that the ball hasn't hit the ground yet. The opponent seizes the opportunity and catches the ball.
That means 5th graders win!
The 4th graders are very upset. They confront the 5th graders in the hallway. Neither side backs down. Then the 5th graders taunt that they know more than the 4th graders. The 4th graders change the lyrics of their choir song to mock the 5th graders. Eventually, they decide to have a fight to settle this.
Huh? Where'd you get that scar?
Had it as long as I can remember. Why?
Bart actually has an identical scar. The fight pauses. Bart goes to ask the bullies about it, but after checking their bullying logs, they confirm it has nothing to do with them. He then asks Hibbert, but Hibbert only remembers seeing it on his hand every time Bart comes in. Bart has no choice but to go home and ask Marge. Unexpectedly, she doesn't tell him its origin. Instead, she mentions that she used to take him to a toddler gym. At that time, Bart made 3 friends there, and Marge also became close with their mothers. But later, they had a bad influence on Bart, so Marge parted ways with them. Bart sees that she is smiling happily in the photo with them, and feels it's somewhat unfortunate.
Maybe we could get back together. Awesome! I'll get the white wine.
Marge reunites with them. They reminisce about the old days together and have a great conversation. Bart also reunites with those 3 boys. They all have the same scar on their hands, but none of them remember how they got it. Then they start playing. After skateboarding down from the treehouse, they lie on the ground laughing, but Bart actually feels somewhat forced.
Those dudes were intense. I'm glad you had fun, because we're all getting together next week. Great.
Soon they go out for a second time. Bart suggests playing other games, but not only do they refuse, they also mock him for being cowardly. Bart has no choice but to slide down the slope, but they still mock him and use word games to trick Bart into saying he's cowardly. At night, Lisa passes by Bart's room and finds his mouth stuffed with many remote controls. It turns out those boys dared him to do this. She's very worried about him and Marge. Bart believes the reason they separated back then was because of that scar. So the next day, they find Jeffrey. Unexpectedly, he actually knows the origin of it. It turns out that 7 years ago, Jeffrey was in charge of setting off fireworks at the celebration. After those boys discovered he was operating it, they sneaked to his side while his attention was diverted. 4 little hands simultaneously pressed all the buttons on the control panel. Fireworks filled the sky and started flying everywhere. People panicked. At this moment, one spark shot straight toward Jeffrey's hamburger. The decoration on the hamburger bounced onto their hands, leaving them with that scar. After learning everything, Bart decides to create chaos to make Marge realize they still have a bad influence on him. This way, she would part ways with them again. But before he can act, Marge discovers him. He has to tell the truth. Fortunately, although she doesn't approve of his approach, she understands his intentions, so she's not angry. In the evening, Marge tells them this amusing story. Unexpectedly, they blame Bart and say he's always been the bad apple of the bunch. Marge becomes furious and completely falls out with them. After returning home, she's still unhappy.
Sorry you broke up with your friends, Mom. Maybe Lisa and I could be friends. Not with each other, but with you.